This is a really important question for all of us to really ponder, to look at what kind of research or what kind of documentation of policy considerations are important for the maintenance and the preservation of our communities. It's important in this way because as we're developing the capacity and the development of human capital in unprecedented ways. In our leadership in New Mexico, we've developed a Pueblo PhD cohort. And in just a few weeks, we're going to celebrate the graduation of another 8 PhDs to add to the 10 that graduated a few years ago. An answer to your question is this example. As we develop the kind of human capital, it's important, one, to be intentional in creating opportunities for them to be drawn into the community and to be drawn into our work, to really document for the first time through our eyes and through our voices the articulation of the responses to these challenges so that, one, it becomes a very intentional part with regard to validating and affirming the way in which we're responding to just incredible challenges. So it's one part research in looking at how we find and how others have found an ability, one, to respond to the challenges in this time that history will define as the era of self-determination. And in our Leadership Institute, we ask the question, what are we doing differently in this time of self-determination from those times when we weren't in control and we were critical of? What are we doing differently now that we are supposedly in control from those times when we weren't in control and we were critical of? How we respond to the challenges of today is really, one, being mindful that what we are doing today and how we respond really goes back to what our elders call since time immemorial. That reference to time immemorial is really talking about that time of origin or that time of creation or that time of emergence, as we say in Pueblo worldview. But it's at that time of beginning when the Creator gifted to us the precious connection to our Mother Earth, language, which is the means to find full and meaningful participation in this third gift of a way of life. The gift of our indigenous governance systems, that one provides a process for defining our relationships, not just with human beings, but with all living beings that we share this place with. One, guided by indigenous laws and customs, and family as another gift, which is a recipient of the sacred gift given to us so that mankind can continue, and the way that community, one, obligates itself to be the nurturing collective body for the sacred beings that we receive, that defines who the next generation of caretakers will be. So in this time of self-determination, really is a very significant time of self-internal reflection of how well are we using the incredible opportunity of bringing two sides of our worldviews together. What was originally gifted to us by our Creator and the realization of the kind of education that becomes necessary, one, to develop the tools and the skills with which to protect all that defines who we are internally. So when we find ourselves in this time, as history will define as the era or the period of self-determination, we really must be mindful in this time as we are becoming authors and architects of policies and laws, hopefully with a sense of, one, a response to the challenges that come with the highest degree of love for our lands, for our people, for our language, our culture, our customs, our traditions, because that is the ultimate responsibility of each generation, and how it responds to the challenges for the maintenance in defining what the next generation will inherit from us. And so when we talk about the issues of research and policy considerations, I hope that we can continue to be driven with the intentionality that how we respond to these kinds of questions is very much tied to the very heart of our existence that began since that time of creation, origin, emergence, or generally that beginning of time when we came into this physical world through that spiritual journey.